All right. Earlier in the week, we talked about leading a turnaround and that there were a number of steps there, 6 to be exact. We talked about defining the end state. We talked about getting a reality readout. We talked about mapping gaps. We talked about the efforts and struggle and perseverance you're going to need as you stabilize and then move into the momentum phase where you're actually turning around, and how all of that earns you the right to go and scale your business. Now, when we talked about the step after defining your North Star, where you want to go, the end state, we said that there was a reality readout, and there is some specific action called triaging that you're going to do during this stage, and you're going to do that triaging across the 3 lenses we talked about yesterday. Again, those are people, process, and technology. The big one for me is people. The big one for you should be people. Nothing more important. Everything else that you do from a process standpoint, from a technology standpoint, from a support and development standpoint, is going to be to put great people in the best position to deliver results for you and to have meaningful work for them. So let's talk about leading your turnaround and the people triage specifically. First off, very important, the current state. You own it. You're the leader. You own it. Whether you inherited it or were a part of leading the organization up to this point, the people in your organization were thriving, growing, or struggling in a culture that you enabled. So first, take ownership of the current state and condition of your people. Second, the triage itself. What is this? This is going to be sorting by level of belief and capability. Belief and capability. You're going to look at everybody you've got on your team, and you're going to place them in this grid of belief and capability. How much belief does this individual have right now? How much capability, the ability, skill to get things done, does this person have right now, considering where our North Star, where our end state is? So I do want to add here, I think a lot of wrong-minded leadership looks at an exercise like this and goes, great, let's get rid of some people. Absolutely wrong. Again, point back to current state. You own it. You hired great people. You brought them on board. Wherever they are right now, you own it. Your job is now going to be identify where they are, because we are in that reality readout phase. And then we're going to have some actions and plans that will elevate everybody's game and give you the energy you're going to need for your turnaround. So the triage is a sorting exercise that we're going to use to have some strategies and tactics that are going to allow us to achieve some higher levels of activation in our people. And that means we're going to leverage our inspired people, and we're going to get an increased level of belief, and we're going to level up skills in everybody else so that we can have as many people all in and inspired as possible. So let's talk about this. First off, this matrix 𝗍𝗍, this is measuring belief and capability. It's a basic 2x2. It wouldn't be a business exercise if there wasn't a 2x2. I do want to note that this is an adaptation of the adoption matrix, and that's from a book called The Digital Mindset by Neeley and Leonardi, and that is from HBR. Great book. Got it right here, by the way. Do recommend it, but it is an adaptation of that, and massaged it a little bit for the purposes of a turnaround. So let's talk about what this means. We have belief on this axis from low to high. We have capability along here at the bottom from low to high. We've got 4 quadrants. So first off, if you have a group of people that is highly capable, meaning they've got the skills right now to do the job, to do it great at a high level, and they are bought in, completely bought into the direction you're taking the company, the organization, the department, whatever it is we're turning it around. The people with high belief and high capability, they're all in there, you're inspired. You're really lucky to have them there, considering the fact that you're doing a turnaround, which means things haven't been great. You're going to leverage these folks. You're going to engage these folks to be leaders. That doesn't mean they're going to be formal leaders. Doesn't mean they're not, but they're definitely going to be in a position of leading by example, leading by doing, and partnering with others across the organization to help them get to their level. So you've got your inspired. You're probably just thumbnail sketching, doing well if you've got 20%, 15 to 20% of your staff. Honestly, again, this is no rose-colored glasses. This is a reality readout if you've got them in this inspired category. Now, let's talk about their close cousins. So somebody that's highly capable but low on belief is in the indifferent category. All right? It's just where they are. They've got the skill and ability to do the job, to be where you're going, but the nature of the business and the everyday operations has put them in a position to where belief is low. So probably what they're seeing is a whole lot of talk, not aligning with the action, and that's a job for leadership to fix, and that's you. So good news, they can do it. Bad news, mentally they're not in the right spot. We're going to work on that. Over here, if we're high in belief but low in capability, these folks are frustrated. All right? They see where it's going. They understand where it's going. They are all about going where it's going. They've got some doubts between their ears, and they may be lacking in some of the skills that they need to be fully inspired. So this is a high belief but low confidence in their ability, or lacking the abilities. So the thing here is, the head is right. We've just got to upskill these people. All right? We've got to get them where we're going. They have value. They've been with you for a while, and they believe in what you're doing. You can teach anybody anything if they've got that. And that's what we're going to do with those folks. Now, our last section here. This is the most challenging. These are the oppressed, okay? You might have a third of your organization in this category, just depending on how you're sitting right now. With the oppressed, obviously low belief, low capability. You can't take somebody that's in the oppressed category and move them diagonally up to inspired. The action here is to increase the level of belief. Again, if the belief is there, if the mind is willing and the attitude is right, there's a lot you can teach those people and move them over and activate them into something closer to inspired, if not outright inspired. So with this group, we don't give up on them. Again, bad leadership would say, let's cut them. We don't need the expense. Well, replacement's hard, and again, you're taking ownership for the fact that you created the conditions that put what were once great contributors, once great hires, in a position to not win when it's your sole job to win. So whether you adopted the organization in the current state or were a part of making the mess that you got on your hands, take ownership of shifting people to inspired. What do you do with your inspired folks? Again, I talked about formal or informal leadership. I would take the people that are here, that are highly skilled, and have the relationships maybe in the same departments, adjacent departments, some sort of frequency of audience. Get them partnered and collaborating with people to lift them up. Make these people your team captains. They're the exemplar. They're who you want. Get these folks to buy in. Also, communication, the way you communicate. Everybody that needs their belief raised needs to hear the right words, but more importantly, needs to see you demonstrating the action that aligns with those words. If you can do that every day in every small thing, this isn't the big quarterly speeches, this isn't the big company-wide kickoff for a turnaround. This is what you do every day in every relationship and every engagement. Keeping your action aligned with the North Star, keeping your words aligned with the North Star, and keeping those words and actions aligned, that will build trust, that will elevate belief. Not going to happen overnight. There's nothing you can snap and make it happen. It's got to be consistent, drip, 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 walking the walk, talking the talk. So elevate the belief, shift those that now have that higher belief but are lacking in the skills, invest in them, give them the opportunities and the resources to learn from your best, to be coached and brought along, to ride shotgun with them in this new kind of work that they're being exposed to. Find ways, talk to them about where the opportunities are to grow, and then invest in them to skill-wise get there. Again, if the belief is there, if the heart is willing, and the mind is right, you can teach. You can get them the skills they need 9 times out of 10. You want to do that as much as you can. So this is an exercise that sorts people. You're going to resist the urge to do the stupid thing, which is make snap decisions about people's career and economic futures based on the way you sort them. The purpose of judgment here is merely to get your reality map built so that as you exit the triage phase and you've looked at your desired state, you can build that reality map. You can build that map to close the gaps in your people in this example. And then we'll also eventually talk about how to close the gaps on process and technology. But it's all about people. That's the most important part of the turnaround. You need the energy that people bring so that you can get where you want to go. All right. Thank you so much. Be good.